Hello and welcome. Mr. Martino here for your favorite teacher. This is the first lesson in the unit of transformations, and today we're going to take a look at reflections and how to handle questions based on reflections. A reflection is just what you would expect it to be, but without the mirror. When we are asked to reflect a shape, we will be given some additional information concerning a line that will act as a mirror line. This mirror line we treat as if there was an actual mirror on the line. And if we then look in the mirror, the shape that we will have will then be the reflected shape in the mirror. In other words, we're simply assuming that if there was a mirror on the mirror line, where would our shape look like if it's in the mirror? We can achieve this by realizing that when an object is reflected, its size and distance from the line remains the same, and its shape is actually reversed. The distance of all points in our shape on one side of the line are exactly the same distance away from the line on the opposite side of the line. Sometimes the mirror line is given to us on our grid, and we simply use this line to draw the reflections, as in our illustrated examples. The original shapes are labeled A and the reflected shape labeled B. The mirror lines are the dotted lines, and notice that if we count the blocks from the mirror line to any point on the original shapes, it's the same number of blocks on the opposite side of the mirror line to the corresponding image. There will also be questions that do not give you the mirror line on the grid, but tell you the equation of the line that the mirror line is on, such as y is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 1. In these cases, you have to ensure that you place the mirror line in the correct place before reflecting any images. It's a very common mistake made by students to confuse the lines when given in this format. When a line is given as y is equal to some numerical value, it will always be a horizontal line. When a line is given as x is equal to some value, it will always be a vertical line. This is definitely worth remembering. Let's take a look at an example. The illustration shows a shape on a grid, and the question asks to do two reflections, one in the line y is equal to 2, and again in the line x equal minus 2. We first draw a horizontal line that is the equation y is equal to 2. We then complete our reflected image as if this is our mirror line. We then do the same for the line x equal minus 2 by drawing a vertical line and again completing our reflected image as appropriate. In these examples, the equation of the mirror lines have been either horizontal or vertical. However, there's also a situation where the mirror line can be a diagonal line. The equations y equal x or y equal minus x produce lines that run through the diagonals of the grid boxes. When we are confronted with the mirror line being one of these lines, we must be careful when drawing a reflection. In these cases, we still need to make sure that the same principles apply as before, except that the distances from any point on the original shape will now be diagonal distances. To accomplish this, we must always look at perpendicular distances from a point on our shape to the mirror line, then beyond. We can illustrate this with an example. The shape to be reflected and the mirror line, which is our dotted line, are shown. We begin by taking each vertex and trace it along a diagonal line which is perpendicular to the mirror line, and then continue that line onto the opposite side of the mirror line for the same distance. We can then mark the new point out When we have done this for all the vertices, we simply connect the points and we have our reflected shape. Finally, we may be given two shapes that are obviously reflections of each other and asked to describe the transformation of one to the next. In this scenario, your answer will be a reflection, but in the mirror line that you must then determine. The mirror line will be the line that is equidistant between the two shapes. I hope this has been helpful, and you can always test your understanding by taking our quizzes or our worksheets available from the website. This has been Mr. Martino for your favorite teacher, and thanks for watching.